of the research onion is the time horizon. Time horizon is about how much you have to get yourself related to the problem, how closer you have to go towards the problem, how much time you have to spend with this research. Now take this onion, this is an example. Now if you want to buy some onion from a shop, you go to the shop, you would see a heap of onion there. You pick some of them and you check it, you press it and see how soggy, how strong, how new, how old, and you make a decision to purchase this. But if you have already paid the onion and if you have brought the onion inside your kitchen, in this case you are checking to cook it. Earlier you checked it to buy it, now you are checking to cook it in the kitchen. So in this case you never only press it, you go inside the onion. If it is even soggy, you peel the outer layers and you go inside until you get the good ones, and you take that and you cut it and you cook it. So the research relationship to the problem differ. When you want to purchase onion, you have a way, and when you want to cook it, you have already paid for, you have a different way. So the time horizon differ here, the relationship to the problem differ here. If a patient makes a minor complaint to a doctor, he would do some cross-sectional surface studies from that complaint, and he would easily administrate the medicine and let the patient go home. But if you make some complicated complaint, the doctors would admit you in the hospital and they would put you on observation and some additional tests. So they spend longer time. So they would do a longitudinal research in your body to figure out what's wrong with you. Then they administrate the medicine. So the cross-sectional is very short term. You just do the surface studies. The longitudinal is the long term. You spend a lot of time. You go closer to the problem. You live with the problem to study. So time horizon has two terms. Cross-sectional, that's the surface studies. The longitudinal, that is the inner part. You go inside and study. It takes longer time. Now let's have a look at the time horizon in terms of business research point of view. If your employees are having some motivational issues, you may have to study this. You can study this using the cross-sectional short-term time horizon, or you can use the long-term longitudinal time horizon as well, depending on the time availability, depending on the budget, because longitudinal will take lots of money, lots of time, as you said before. If it is a patient admitted in the hospital, you need to spend a lot of time and lots of money involved in. So depending on the budget and the time, we can decide the option of these two. And again, depending on the problem as well. If the problem is severe, you don't need to worry about the time and the budget. You have to go into longitudinal. Now, how can you do this motivation of employees? If you want to study the longitudinal one, you can pick some employees and you can ask them what motivates them, what don't motivate them, so we can find a solution for it. But if you want to do a longitudinal one, you may have to go inside the workplace. You stay with the employees, you spend about 2, 3, 4, 5 months or maybe even longer, and find out what motivates them and what don't motivate them. So that is longitudinal.